Then I'm just going to use this. Um, I'm just going to pretend that this is the cloth that you have. So I have a couple of cloths here. One of the cloths that I use that I love. Um, I'll do this. Hopefully you can hear me. Oops, hang on. Ah, all right. Oh, this might work. Okay, hopefully you can hear me okay. Can you hear me okay? Awesome. This is one of the cloths that I have that I love that Donna Bernardina, my teacher, made. She wove that. And I just like it because it's the two halves, it's the two-fold uh, way. But I just use this as an altar cloth. So what I want you to do is to lay out your cloth. Sometimes you can put it just as a square. Sometimes you can put it as a diamond. There is actually the diamond in the Andean way is connected to the Southern Cross because it's known as the eye of God. So you can go through that eye to get to the universe. So sometimes I put mine as a diamond because I think of that. And then, so we're just going to take a moment together, and I'm just going to go and grab something. So Pamela, if you can just pause, I'm just going to go grab something. I'll be right back. To use some of the water on your cloth, but I thought that we just might do this together as a little blessing so that we can connect our cloths together. So laying out your cloth, and then what you're going to do is just put a little bit of your water. You can cover over the top of it with your thumb, and then just put a little bit of it into the palm of your hand, and then rub your hands together, and then smell. And then you can just place your hands on your cloth with your palms down. And if you wanted to, you can cover over the lid of it, cover the top of it with your thumb, and just put a few drops onto the cloth on the inside there. Place your hands, and then just close your eyes and feel and touch your cloth. And then we're going to say a little prayer with each of our hands on the cloth. Okay, and so just feeling into that connection. I'm just saying here, Great Spirit, grandmothers and grandfathers, great great grandmothers, great great grandfathers, beautiful ancestors, Anshin Shia, thank you, thank you, thank you for this opportunity to begin this journey of being in relationship with our medicine heart. Giving thanks to all the beautiful teachings from Sharif Nikali, from the Kaliak, from Sean, from Don Martin, from Donna Bernardina for the teachings in connection to this beautiful teacher and soul that we are building for ourselves. We thank you for the wisdom. We thank you for the guidance, the protection, the love, the nurturance, the nourishment, and all of the guidance we can receive from the Leah, these beautiful old doctors, this council of teachers and elders that we are forming that is on its way to us, that they are coming to us to work together in sacred relationship with us. And we thank you for this opportunity. We give thanks. And then, so just take a moment to speak out loud in your own way, say your own prayer straight from your heart. And then you can place your candle in the center of your cloth. And then you can just feed the light of the fire, feed the light of your candle to your cloth, just with your intention. So that it's taking in fire. And then you can also fold your cloth and just find a way to just put it across the fire so it takes in the fire. And then, so we've now brought the water and we've brought the fire. So now we bring the air. So when you hear me speaking about bringing the sweetest breath from your heart, and sometimes when you're in a ceremony, you hear me blowing, all the blowing. It's because my breath, I'm sending my intention on my breath, right? And the breath, the wind, is what carries the communication. So you're just going to find deep gratitude in your heart for finding this time and place and the path of the medicine and your commitment to it and all of the teachers. And then just 3 gentle breaths with sending that love and gratitude from your heart into your cloth and your gratitude for your loving ancestors. So, and so one way that you can look at your medicine hearth is as a cauldron, right? And the cauldron is in the Celtic traditions, the cauldron is a massive symbol, right? The great cauldron, the universe is seen as the cauldron within which, the great mother cooks everything. And if you think about a cauldron, it has to have the fire, right, to heat it up. It has to have the earth, whatever is cooking inside of it. It has to have the air to keep the fire going, right? It has to have the earth that it's made of, but it also has to have the water to help things to cook. So it has all the elements involved in the journey of alchemy and cooking. All right, so we've now got our cloth ready. And I did share, I think, the other day on WhatsApp when the solstice was here, how you might want to put your Leah outside or in the summer. I often say to people, to take their Leah, and sometimes it can be a beautiful experience to lay them out on the earth for a period of time. Sometimes, if I'm really needing some big, big grounding, I might take a couple of Leah that are, for a specific reason, a specific medicine, and I might bury them actually in the earth for a period of time because it will help me to ground. Um, and so your medicine hearth cloth is, at those sacred doorways. The next sacred doorway we have coming up will be the beginning of February. And there is a beautiful ceremony that we'll do connected to Bridget and connected to the Immol, where we do lay our medicine hearth cloth actually outside. Sometimes I take my cloth out and I hang it in the tree overnight at certain times. So um, that's that piece. So I want to move on to um, how to uh, do what we call the compact ceremony. So the compact ceremony, when we use the word compact, we're meaning coming together. Now, I know that I like this word. I like this word that I was taught by Donna Bernardina. Other people might say that we're just doing a ceremony, or that it's a ritual, or that it's an empowerment, or it's an attunement. But I really appreciate the word compact, because when you compact something, you bring it together. It's tight, it's connected. What the compact ceremony is the compact ceremony is about us going into a reciprocal loving relationship with a Leah. And for each Leah that we have, we do a compact ceremony. That's what we do. And it's basically saying that we're going into an agreement to work together. We're going to work together. So, as much as your Leah is bringing you protection and medicine and guidance and all of those things, you're actually making an agreement that you're going to nourish that relationship so that it's a two-way street. So, I think I've put in the WhatsApp group before, like feeding your medicine hearth. I know it's on that video. Feeding your medicine hearth and nourishing your medicine hearth is a really important thing that you do. So I keep my medicine hearth in my bedroom, and most mornings when I get up, I just get a little bit of holy water. I'll go to Florida, or even an incense, and I just put a little on my hands and I just touch it and I say good morning. Or if I'm, going to light an incense, I just move the incense around my room and I give some of that beautiful smell to my medicine hearth. Sometimes, if I'm feeling like kind of sluggish and tired, I open up my medicine hearth like I did on the weekend. I was like, oh man, I'm exhausted after everything that I've been through. And so I just opened it up. I took all the Leah out. I shook the cloth out outside. I got some snow on my hands. I rubbed the snow on the inside of my cloth. And then I put everything back in and I added some of the flower petals from the solstice ceremony that some of you were at. I added a little bit of tobacco, and sometimes I add other things. Sometimes I add a bit of salt. Sometimes I add corn or, um, lavender, all sorts of things, depending on what I'm eating and depending on what I feel that my medicine heart needs. But first of all, I want to go through the compact ceremony with you. So if you have your Leah with you, and I'm going to guide you through this. So this would be your cloth. And so I'm just going to use uh, this one, for example. This is just my hypothetical. Let me see if I can get you a little bit closer. Okay. Is that okay? All right. So we've had a little ceremony with our cloth, and now you have your stone with you, whatever it is, and now you're going to do this compact ceremony. So the reason why we do this compact ceremony is we're acknowledging the relationship that we're having with this Leah, that this is a spirit, it's a helping spirit who's coming to support us and with this particular medicine of the wildness, it's helping us to stay in contact with our wild nature. It's helping us to develop that medicine within ourselves. So I'm just going to give you a demo of the compact ceremony, and then I'll guide you through it. So the first thing that I would do is I might give a little bit of um, the same thing I did with my cloth. I give a little bit of water. I'm just going to say to this, uh, I don't, this is just a hypothetical, just so you know, I'm saying to this crystal. Okay. And then I'm also going to give a little bit of fire. And this is what I would say if I found this someplace, if I was going into a relationship with this. Thank you so much for inviting me to work with you, to work together in a loving, reciprocal relationship. I compact, compact, compact. Thank you so much for being in a loving, reciprocal relationship with me, and I look forward to us learning and growing together. Thank you. I compact, compact, compact. Then when I've said that, and I've said compact 3 times, and I've blown 3 times, then I'm going to breathe in the medicine from this particular Leah into my 3 energy centers. So I would start at my head, breathe it into my head, breathe it into my heart, and then down just below my belly button and on my belly button, and I would breathe it in. And then the last part is, oh God, I've got all sorts of things happening here. And then the last part of it is that I would, weave it in to my my bubble, my energy body. And I do that by starting at the top, and I go in a clockwise circle, weaving this into my medicine body all the way around and all the way down. And then once I've did that, thank you. And then it's done. It's ready. All right. So I'll lead you through this. So just holding your Leah in your hands and offering a little bit of the water. So you can put a few drops on it, or you can put it on your hands and rub it in, whichever way works for you. And as you're doing that, start to tune in your intention that you're going to begin working with this Leah, and that you're so thankful for it coming into your life. And Irina, if you have that stone with you, and you're holding it to your heart, and you're just feeling like I have to do this, then go ahead. But if you're like, I'm not sure, then I just suggest that to wait, because you can do this at a later time. You're the expert on you, so I just want to make sure that you're doing what's right. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. Just keep tuning in. And then when you're ready, just holding your Leah in your hands, right? So that you can blow and say, and this in your own way, just say, thank you, thank you, thank you for making your way to me and inviting me to go into a loving reciprocal relationship with you. And then saying, I compact, compact, compact. And then thank you, thank you, thank you. Can you hear me okay, everybody? Yep. Okay. And then when you're ready, in your own way and in your own words, just anything else that you want to say about, I'm looking forward to our journey together. I thank you for your guidance. Thank you for whatever. And just making sure that you're speaking or whispering out loud, so that you're carrying that medicine from your heart on the wind of your breath into the stone. And then thank you, thank you, thank you. And now you're going to take this in. So placing your Leah on the top of your head, breathing in. And then placing it on your heart and breathing in. And then placing it on your belly and breathing it in. And then starting at the top, going in a clockwise fashion, you're going to circle it all the way into your energy body, all the way around. Good. All right. We're done. So now with this Leah, you're going to keep this wrapped in your hearth cloth. You're going to this will start to grow and build, and it'll end up like a decent size. So when it comes to building your medicine hearth, it's like John Martin said to me, it's like, now this is your baby. So now you don't go anywhere without your baby, nowhere without it. That's the journey, right? So you're going to wrap up your little bundle, your little baby, and I'll show you how to do that in a moment. And then you're going to start to take it with you everywhere you go. So sure, it's going to have one place. People say to me, oh my God, do I have to carry it from room to room? No. But if you go out to work, you put it in your bag and you take it to work. If you go to the grocery store, it's exactly like having a baby. You put it in your bag and you take it to the grocery store. If you go off to your yoga class, you take it to your yoga class. Wherever you go, you take your medicine hearth, right? This is how you develop a relationship with it, is by making sure that you're always connected. And right now it's just little, so it's not such a big deal. But it's a way to start to develop that connection. Okay? I'm just going to quickly show you how to wrap it. Don't worry too much about this for now because it's kind of one stone and a fairly large cloth. But it's, yeah. So let me see if I can get you back here. What you might like to do is, because your cloth, I had them made big enough so that when you got more Leah, it would be okay. So if you feel like your cloth is too big to start with for one little stone, what you can do is you can make it smaller by folding in like the four uh, pointy parts so that you end up with a smaller square. Does that make sense? And then you've just got something that's a lot smaller. And once you've got that, then you do make this little diamond. And then I'm going to show you how to wrap it. Let me just see if I can get a better angle for you so you can see. Oh, hang on. I'm all tangled up here. Sorry. All right, you can see that okay, right? And you can hear me okay. Good. All right. So I'm going to turn it this way for you so that you can see. So the way that you wrap this up, it is kind of like a kid's diaper. And the way that I always remember how to do this, and there is a reason why we do it this way, and it is primarily because you are bringing order. This is part of the journey of Mastay. You're bringing order to your medicine. And one of the biggest teachings I always got from Donna Bernardina was you need to keep your medicine tidy. Once your medicine starts to get untidy, your life will start to get untidy. So keeping your medicine tidy is important, not to the point of being anal, because then your life will get uptight. But in the meantime, just like that. So I have this in little diamond. So the way that I've remembered how to do this is by just making up like this little prayer as I do it. So I always start with Mother Earth. So I take the bottom corner and I fold it over the top. And then I might even fold that top corner underneath the stone. So Mother Earth. And then let me go in nice and close if I can. Mother Earth. And then all her children. So I'm doing the lower world and then I'm doing the middle world. So I fold over one side. And if I have an excess there, I'm going to make a little fold so that this line is in alignment with the top. So you've got a nice right angle here and all her children. And then I'll do the other side. And then I'll tuck under that little corner like that as well. This is an awkward stone. So now I've got kind of like, now I've got this. And then, so I've got Mother Earth, all her children, and Father Sky. So I fold the top down, and it's just like kind of like a diaper. This little flap here, you can tuck it in here so that it will keep itself folded. And then you have your hearth. And then you don't have to open it. You can just give it offerings in whichever way you want. And in general, in life, the way that I've learned, I know that there are other lineages. Like I think the Four Winds, they're all about opening their medicine hearts and doing all this stuff. But definitely the way that I learned was much more, I don't know if it's traditional, but so my team was like, no, you don't open your heart. It's like taking off your clothes in front of somebody. Like it's really super private and intimate. And when we're all together, we will do a ceremony where we do open our hearts and meet the villagers and all of that kind of thing. So I know that's a lot. So let's just, and I know the time is here, so I don't want to keep you any longer, but I would like to take a moment for questions.
I have a question.
Yes.
Do we use the like braid or string that it came with to tie it?
Yeah, thank you, Lisa. This is a really good and important thing that you're asking because it brings another lesson. So something that I'm just going to show you now, right now. Okay, so this is my medicine hearth, and I'm just going to tighten it up a little bit because it's a little loose. So just give me a second. Okay, so just a couple of things I'll tell you because it might help you if you see my medicine hearth a little bit. So this is like my medicine hearth, my cloth. It's whatever. And then I have an inner cloth. This is a little cloth from Ireland because I find that it helps everything to stay together properly. Some of the things that I have in my medicine hearth, I have these little when I was in Ireland, I picked up all these little, oh, I don't have one now. I have my AA chip. I have like a little protection thing that I got of Guadalupe uh, from Donna Bernardina. This is a little bit of fur from my kitty cat, Selena, who died, and she gave me permission to have some of her whiskers and fur. It's my ancestors. It's not a Leah, but it's a Leah. Yeah, and other bits and pieces in here. Okay, as well as all my Leah. So so I have this little inner cloth, and that helps me to keep it all nice and tight. And then I'm just going to wrap it the way I showed you. So I start with Mother Earth over the top, and I tuck that over and under all her children. Make that nice and tidy. And the other side, nice and tidy. And then the sky over the top. And then I tuck it under like that. And also in my medicine house, I have a bunch of sort of holy cards. So what I have made, and this might be something you might like, is I have, picture of my daughter and holy card that I got from Dr. Estes. And I also took pictures of my power places that I'm connected to. So one in Ireland, one in Australia, like these, and then I laminated them so that they're laminated and they're nice and like secure, so they won't get all kind of smashed up. So I've got all those together, these holy cards, and then I have those wrapped in a separate little cloth. So I'm just going to get that. It's a separate little cloth there. And then once I've wrapped this, then I put my holy cards just in there like that, so that they're with me. So when you tie your hearth, and sorry about the time, you guys. When you tie your hearth, the way that I learned, and this is something to bear in mind when you're carrying your baby everywhere, you don't put your baby on its face. And you don't carry your baby around upside down. All right? So be very mindful when you're placing it in places that you're putting it upright and you don't turn it upside down. So if you do use your tie, then you will learn how to do it so that you don't turn your baby upside down. Don't turn it upside down. And I think that, some people might think that that's suspicious, whatever, or superstitious. But for me personally, I just think that that is the way that I was taught. And the reason I was taught that way is because it's just a way of, saying that you have a lot of respect for these spirits who are working for you, and therefore you're mindful about how you treat them and carry them and bits and pieces like that. If you do have Leah that are like sandy, like I have some here from Australia, I have to be careful of them. And I keep one of them in a little cloth bag because uh, it's kind of sandstone, so I have to be very, very careful of it. And I also have a piece of like glass that came from Burning Man, and so I keep that wrapped. So those things that are very delicate, you might like to have them wrapped so that they're not rubbing against other things and they could break. Um, but yeah, so you can use your tie. Um, that was my answer to that, Lisa. Any other questions, Pamela?
So for the extra bits that we add, like the holy cards and such, do we also say a prayer, like a compact kind of prayer for it?
Yeah, you don't have to do compact ceremony for those. Yeah. Even
Okay.
things that you add, like I've got a little tie that I got from Geshe-la when I was receiving the empowerments from him. I didn't do a compact with that. That's just it's a little protection tie that he gave me. But for my actual Leah, that is when I do the compact ceremony. Yeah. Any other questions?
I have a quick question. Are
Lisa,
you,
Irina? Yeah.
Irina, yes. Will you be able to upload a little video of
Yeah, I can send you
everything?
info about the compact ceremony. Yeah.
Okay, thank you
Sometimes
so much.
I can talk about it. Sometimes I do get a little uncomfortable with putting ceremonies on film for some reason. I don't know, it kind of creeps me out, but I'll find a way. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Lisa.
Is this the only thing we should have in our hearth right now with it wrapped? Is our Leah?
Why? Do you have other things?
Well, just that I have other things on my altar, like crystals and
Yeah. So
yeah.
yeah, so these are specifically the Leah are, there might come a time when there's something on your altar and it's just like, oh man, that needs to like become a Leah. That particular stone or that particular crystal, that is a Leah for sure. But I'd wait until we go along, on this journey. But if you have stones on your altar that you're like, yeah, I remember when I was in Arizona and I got that thing, that stone there, that was a big day for me, or that was a beautiful, amazing, incredible holiday, and I learned so much, then that might end up being a Leah. But there is a difference between your medicine hearth and your altar, right? I'd say that the medicine hearth is much more an extension of you. You and your medicine hearth are like this, right? Whereas your altar, you can change maybe the season and you change it, or maybe things that you want to, that are important to you that you look at, but it's not necessarily, it can be a tool, but not in the same way that the medicine hearth is a tool. Jessica.
What about anything that's not another Leah or a crystal or rock? Like, what if we do have photos of places or people that we do, carry in our hearts all the time? Is that something you add now, or is that something we wait on?
No, yeah, you could for sure. You could put in, a photo of those people that really support you, that they're an important part of your world and they support you and they love you. And so it can be beautiful to get a little photo. You can put it in one of those plastic things or laminated or whatever, and you might like to put it in there. Yeah.
Can it be the person who already passed away?
Yeah, for sure. If it's an ancestor and you have a strong connection to them and it's a really good relationship, you really want to make sure that when that person transitioned on, that it wasn't that it didn't happen not long ago, that it's at least a year since they've transitioned. Really, those additional things, they're not Leah. They're just part of who you are and part of your spirit. I have pictures of like Mary and Guadalupe in mine. I used to carry a photo of Corey and Maggie and I together as a family, and that got confusing because this marriage is breaking up. Now I just have a photo of my daughter, but what I do have is I have a little brass, it's a little Buddhist icon of like the Holy Family, like the mother, the father, and the baby. And so I just have that little brass icon in my medicine hearth as that my family is protected. So whenever I open my medicine hearth, that's kind of my prayer that I have, is like, oh yeah, it's not necessarily a Leah, but it is a reminder that, the medicine is with my family, protecting us and taking care of us. So yeah. Other questions? Jenna?
Why a year specifically for after someone has passed?
Yeah, in lots of cultures around the world, they always give a year, because I think partially it's for us that are behind, that we have to get through all of those seasons and all of those anniversaries without that person. And so we're still in our grieving ourselves. And one of the most challenging things with grieving is sort of sending out our energy to the person who's passed, but they're on a very important journey themselves. So when we give it a year, we're allowing that person to have their journey, and we're allowing ourselves to have our journey as well. All right. So I think what we might do is we might close our